Good day. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Edwin Ngangbo. I am a student at California Intercontinental University. I'm here today to present Michael Porter's 4 competitive strategies for analyzing the market and the competitive environment that guides the strategy of companies and businesses. Competition usually informs the type of strategy that a firm will pursue to stay competitive. Michael Porter proposes 4 competitive strategies for outperforming other organizations in a particular industry: cost leadership, differentiation, cost focus, and differentiation focus. Michael Porter proposes that if firms pursue any of his recommended generic competitive strategies, they will be able to outperform competitors who do not pursue such strategies. In this presentation, I will analyze and present these strategies in the context of the retailing industry, using companies such as Walmart, Target, Whole Foods Market, and Clear Stores. Cost leadership. Cost leadership is the first strategy that Michael Porter proposes. A cost leadership strategy requires a firm to become the lowest cost producer of a product or service so that above average profits are earned, even though the price charged is not above the industry average. Cost leadership is a lower cost competitive strategy that aims at the broad mass market. Walmart, the preeminent global retailing giant, has mastered this cost leadership strategy. Walmart became very successful pursuing this strategy because it utilized efficient scale facilities, pursued cost reductions vigorously, had tight cost and overhead control, and employed cost minimization in areas like research and development, service, sales force, and advertising. Because of Walmart's buying power, it has such a leverage over suppliers that it can bring down its costs and make suppliers to supply Walmart at such a competitive cost that Walmart can pass this cost in the form of low prices to customers. Differentiation. A differentiation strategy involves creating a customer perception that a product or service is superior to that of other firms based on brand, quality, and performance, so that a premium price can be charged to customers. Differentiation is a viable strategy for earning above average returns in a specific business because the resulting increased value to the customer lowers price sensitivity and increased costs can usually be passed on to the buyers. The retailer Target has employed the differentiation strategy to reap above average returns. It differentiates itself as a mass merchandiser of affordable cheap goods. Target avoided competing head to head with Walmart by presenting itself as a slightly more upscale retailer, thereby attracting a more affluent and less price sensitive clientele. So you have like young, suburban, a little more wealthy customers going to Target because they have the perception that it's a little bit more upscale and more luxurious than Walmart. This has made Target to be very profitable. Differentiation focus. A focused differentiation strategy involves the use of a differentiation strategy in a narrow market segment. The retailer Whole Foods Market has employed the differentiation focus strategy to achieve above average returns. Host Foods specializes in serving the natural organic food retail market where health conscious consumers, college educated customers living in metropolitan areas are not very price conscious. Whole Foods' position is served as selling the highest quality natural and organic products, enhances consumer health and vitality, and supports team member excellence. This focused differentiation has made Whole Food to be so attractive that it was recently bought over by the internet retail giant Amazon. Cost focus. Cost focus is a low cost competitive strategy that focuses on a particular buyer group or geographic market and attempts to serve only this niche to the exclusion of others. In using cost focus, the company or business unit seeks a cost advantage in its target segment. Clear Stores, the apparel and accessories retailer for teen girls and young women, seeks to appeal to young women by selling inexpensive jewelry, accessories, and ear piercings. Clear's use of a focused cost leadership strategy has been very successful. The firm has more than 3,000 locations and has stores in 95% of US shopping malls. Michael Porter's competitive strategies is a good method to analyze the retailing industry. However, some have criticized the approach as being too static in circumstances when industry conditions are changing rapidly. Some also argue that the dynamism of today's environment requires companies to develop strategy continuously by developing knowledge-based competencies based on continuous organizational learning. This is usually referred to as a competency approach. Some argue that a competency approach gives firms a competitive advantage by building knowledge internally, which makes it difficult for other firms to compete, so giving them a sustainable advantage. Stonehouse and Snowden argue that the generic strategy that Michael Porter advocates was undermined by the performance of Japanese companies who appeared to successfully combine differentiation and low cost. Because Michael Porter says a company cannot be successful if they try to employ two generic strategies at the same time, but the Japanese companies seem to have tried to prove him wrong. There are both arguments against Michael Porter's competitive strategies notwithstanding. There is also a danger inherent in the competencies approach to strategy that an organization employing a competency-based strategy can become too internally focused at the expense of customer focus. Omanije and Stringer presents a number of reasons for using Porter's model to evaluate firms' competitive behavior instead of other approaches. First, it is widely used. Porter and especially his 1980 model has had a major impact on the area of business strategy and on the field of industrial economics as well for a very long time. The second reason for using Porter's model indicated by the authors above is its well-defined structure. By looking at the framework of the strategies, it is revealed that the concept of competitive advantage and strategy has been explained within a well-structured setting. Continuing with the alternative approach, the clarity of Michael Porter's model's main concepts is another reason why Porter's model is the preferred method for competitive analysis. The model of generic strategies presents a clear and easily comprehensible way of analyzing how a firm can attain competitive advantage and perform better and also when it fails to do so. The model's complementary role to other approaches of competitive advantage of firms is also an advantage. Porter's model represents a rather high degree of detail in the specification and explanation of firms' competitive behavior. So, in conclusion, Michael Porter's approach has been around for such a long time. It has been tested in various different fields, different industries, even in the, as I said, in the retail industry. So it is a concept that, if well employed, can give firms advantages. I want to thank you for taking this time to watch my presentation of Michael Porter's 4 strategies for developing competitive advantages. Thank you and goodbye.